you ask questions of people in hopes that they begin to then ask questions of themselves. I mean, I think about, yeah, I think for any of us, right? There are certain things we believed 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, um, that we don't necessarily believe now, right? And some of those beliefs might be things that we're ashamed to have believed at one point. Uh, but we either had a conversation with someone, were exposed to a piece of art, read a book, watched a film, um, or we're in situations, we're in spaces where we were able to engage in a sort of shift in our consciousness. And that doesn't mean it happened overnight. Sometimes it happens over the course of many years. But that's why I think grace and generosity, again, not at the expense of accountability, are so important. Um, Recognizing that everyone is at a different point in their journey. All of us are at a different point in their journey. And I don't purport to be, a sort of beacon of morality or a beacon of ethics in which like I was once, you know, uh, not a conscious person and now I am. It's not. And I think what people need to understand, it's not a threshold that you cross. There's no like now I'm a moral person or an ethical person or a conscious person or a woke person or whatever. It's not a threshold that you cross. It's a journey that you're on for your entire life. It's a practice. It's like a way of being in the world. It's a humility. It's an empathy. It's a curiosity that should animate every interaction you have, every decision you make, the way that you move through the world. And I think that if we can ground ourselves in an understanding of, uh, you know, just with a deep sense of humility, to recognize that there's so much that we don't know, and that's not something that we have to be overwhelmed by or ashamed of. That, but instead, that like how amazing is it that every day we have an opportunity to learn a little bit more about the world, to learn a little bit more about the history of the world, to learn a little bit more about who we are in relationship to this world. I think that can be something that's framed in a as an opportunity, as something that's really generative, rather than something that should fill people with shame or a sense of despair.